The Benoni is an amazing way to counter d4. Super deadly, it'll catch your opponents by surprise, and it even has the highest win rate as black of any opening that exists. Before we begin, I just want to say, if you want me to cover any other openings, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. Okay, let's get into it. So the Benoni starts after d4, we immediately play the aggressive c5. Now, the most natural move for white, and believe it or not, one of the worst moves for white, is to take on c5. This immediately misplaces your central pawn, and we can just play e6. Now we're attacking it with a bishop. Say they try to defend, really their only way to defend is b4, in which we will now play a5. If they take, we can simply take back with the queen with check. They block, and we can win back the c5 pawn. We have a comfortable advantage, and life is good. Say they don't take, and instead defend it with something like a3. Well, this is just simply a bad move, since we can just win the rook. Okay, let's say they play something better, such as c3, which looks good, but there's a little trap here. We can take on b4, they take back, and now queen f6. The rook's stuck in the corner, it's trapped. The only way to really defend it well is knight c3, giving it up and defending it with the queen like this. So clearly, you should not defend the pawn at all. The best move by far, according to the computer, is to just leave it alone with something like knight f3. And now, here's how a basic Benoni with pawn takes c5 will go. First, you're going to take back the pawn, obviously, and then you're going to develop your knight to f6. You'll push d5 for more central space and controlling the e4 and c4 squares. And then you'll castle, get your knight to c6, and then here you have to remember to play rook e8. You're preparing the central pawn push e5. Say they do something random, you push e5. You have complete dominance over the center, and your position is so much better than white's. This is a dream position for any Benoni player. It's clear by now that taking the pawn is just not a very good move. So what white should do is push the pawn to d5. And now we go e6, offering a trade of pawns. There's really two things white can do here. They can either capture this pawn or defend it with c4. The first thing we're going to look at is captures, which is fairly simple. Now here, you don't want to take with the d pawn like this, because then the queen will trade, you lose your castling rights. Instead, you take back with the f pawn. The idea might not look so simple at first, because it does weaken your king's diagonal. Well, the point is to push for d5 and gain as much central space as possible. Play can continue like this. Say e4, we develop our knight, they develop their knight, and now we can go d4, and we just have so much control over the center. This is a beautiful position to have as playing with the black pieces. So, coming back to this, they don't have to take, obviously. They can defend it with c4. And now when they go with c4, we can take on d5 and then play d6. This opens up our light-scored bishop, knight c3, and now you'll notice this d6 move kind of blocked in this dark-squared bishop. So we'll play g6, preparing to fianchetto on this nice diagonal where I'll have complete dominance over the dark squares. e4, bishop g7. If they develop, we'll develop our knight to f6. We'll get castled. They get castled, and then now we go bishop g4. It's because we want complete dominance over this e5 square by going over here. So first we're going to pin this knight. Say they kick us out, we take it. Now we go knight d7, heading for this important e5 square. Now, if they don't do anything about it, we just land on e5. The really only thing they can do about it is bishop f4. Now, you don't want to go knight e5 straight away. You want to threaten it even more with queen e7. Now, say they do something random, we will head to e5. If they take, we are happy taking. We have a beautiful position. Our queen is so much stronger than theirs. Their bishop is just, what is it doing here? And To be honest, we can just pile up pressure on this e4 pawn. We have tons of ideas. Stockfish gives us such a much better advantage. Now going back here, allowing bishop g4 by castling can be a bit annoying. So your opponent might be a little scared and play h3. Now here we just play rook e8, they castle. We can build up some queenside pawn space, and then we can head for the same idea of knight e5. Again, bishop f4, queen e7. It's all the same stuff. You've all looked at this before. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you want to see an opening that in my YouTube video, then please do comment down below. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more like this, please do like and subscribe.